So I'm back down at Crieff Cemetery. It's the it's the 16th of July 26 and it's 4:10. I came down to check to see if there are any contractors down here. I've done a bit of footage about what's all been happening since last December, but I don't think I've loaded anything. So I'll have to, if you bear with me on this one, because I'll have to jumble all together and try and make a proper edit. Simply cast your mind back to December 24 when they started wrecking the old cemetery here, Crieff Road, Ford Road Cemetery, formerly known as Gallow Hill Road, because they used to hang people up the back. In the interim period, they were eventually going to come to my great granny's headstone, which hadn't moved since 1949. It's not been a problem. I contacted the council and advised them if they'd done any damage to that, I would sue their ass. So I was in a lot of backward and forward debate with these people. Eventually I spoke to someone in the head office, because what happened was they asked me to, what was ascertained was that if I wanted to do any remedial work to the headstone or any part of the layer, then I had to write to every member of my family, that's extended family, spread out over all continents on the planet, dozens of names, and get permission from them all that I would be able to take ownership of the layer and do any necessary work if it was deemed necessary. I went back to them and I said to them, it's completely impossible, it's just not feasible. I want to speak to somebody who knows what they're doing. Head person, please. So I got the head person and we came to an agreement. He said, well, we'll apply some logic to this, and we shall allow you to do any work that's necessary. Obviously that occurred at great cost to myself. This was done last December because they'd come around and they'd stuck these signs. I'll show you the sign, because they've done it again. This is the whole point of me talking today. I'll come back to that, but that's the sign I'm talking about. So anyway, this occurred, and I got in touch with a couple of contractors who are professional headstone masons who know what they're doing, and I think the work was completed on the 4th of December last year, 2025, and they were paid, as I say, at extreme cost to myself, but I didn't worry about the money, because it was for my grandparents and great grandparents and great auntie that's in there as well. So anyway, everything was hunky-dory. I came down here at Easter. I hadn't been down quite so often to the graveyard as a result of doing a lot of hill walking, probably from about 6th of April onwards this year, 26. And I normally come down the first Sunday of the month. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I was down at Easter. There was no signs. When that original sign came, I pulled it out the ground. I've done it twice and I keep putting it back. And this is what the debate started, so sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit at the moment. But anyway, I was down another week ago, I can't remember what day exactly, going around all the family graves with flowers. And I came down here to my great-grandparents, and lo and behold, that bloody sign that I just showed you. I was absolutely livid. Because when the work was done in December 25, I immediately contacted the cemetery people and told them that that's the work completed. Told them who'd done it, gave them the layer number, and they said, that's fine, thanks very much for doing that, and we'll update the records. And I'll come to that. That's crucial in this conversation. So anyway, just a couple of weeks ago, when I was down, that sign was back again. And as I say, I totally was fuming. It got hauled out of the ground, and I stuck it there, and I phoned the cemetery people the next day. And I told them, your sign's been dislodged and it's lying next to a bench in memory of Alison Ann Kroll, knee drawn. A fine bench to sit and relax upon. That's also been gifted. So anyway, they said to me that they would speak to the supervisors not only of the cemeteries division, but also the contractors who are employed by Perth and Kinross Council to go and dismantle all these headstones and make an arse of the old cemetery. Point in question, there's more of them. You see this wonderful Celtic cross which has been taken off its plinth and stuck into the soil, split into 3 bits, and they're not going to tell me they put concrete in that at the bottom of that. No chance. That's into bare soil, and there's loads of them all round down in this part now. They've worked their way right round. I thought they'd finished here, but no. There's somebody's headstone missing. Here's Mr. Halley, who died in 1828. Sorry, he died in 1883. He was born in 1828. Well, his headstone's been separated. And this one here. The whole damn thing. Look at them all. Look at this. What the hell is all that about? Do you see how ugly, and I've told you all this stuff before. I think it's just awful. And I feel like I'm in a lonesome battle. It's almost as bad as this bloody battle I have with the Met Office constantly. But worse because it's on a personal level, this one. So anyway, I had said to them last week, I says, so I want to speak to supervisors. Oh, he's not back until Tuesday. So, alright, well, I'll phone you on Tuesday. Phoned the Tuesday. I'm sorry I got the days mixed up. He's not back until Wednesday, tomorrow. I says, well, I'll give you a call. So I called them first thing yesterday morning, Wednesday, and said he's not in the office just now, but I'll get him to give you a call later. So they did, and for all days I was out, and I missed the call both on the landline and on the mobile phone. So they sent the emails to me. Not only that, they sent all the information, including footage of these contractors applying 25 kilos of pressure to my great-grandmother's headstone. I'll film it on this camera and I'll put it on. I'll put it on at the end, okay? This hunking bloody big brute is shoving my grandparents' headstone back and forward. Total disregard to any part of it. And worse than that, they did this in January 26. So they already knew that I had got the work done, and they didn't have any decency on the matter to say we're having a further inspection of the graves. Your great-grandparents is included. The work had already been done. It was should have been on the database. There was no need to come back to my great-grandparents' headstone. But anyway, that's what they did. In all likelihood, what they've done is because the concrete that was set by these people I employed in December, it may well have been because of the frosty conditions over December or whatnot, things hadn't properly settled, and they've destroyed that. So after looking at this, I was absolutely no idea how stressed out and livid I was. I was hundreds of pounds out of pocket, and so I phoned up the contractor, explained the situation. He said, send us an email, and I did, including that footage. He's come back and he says, that looks more than 25 kilos of pressure to me. The council might have dug themselves a hole. No pun intended when you're sitting in a graveyard. Anyway, his boss then phoned me. I have to say they were brilliant. They phoned me within 5 minutes. He phoned me within 5 minutes after that, and he said, I've got all the information, don't you worry about nothing. We'll get down there and we'll fix it. He says, in 30 years of doing this job, thousands and thousands of headstones, I've never had an issue where it's had to be redone. But you won't be charged a penny. We'll come back and we'll complete the work that was originally, we'll do the work again. And I says, is council fault here? He says, well, you have watched the video. I says, yeah. I says, yeah, that's what I thought too. I mean, a kid would, even if a child was to do that, the thing's not going to bloody move. And what's the average weight of a child these days? It's probably under 25 kilos. Even up to a youthful age, it's probably 25 or 30 kilos max, unless it's a fat bastard. But anyway, I'll just walk your dog through the graveyard, eh? I can't believe that people will let the dog foul in a bloody a cemetery. Anyway, I'll turn the camera away from them. So, this hunking big brute of a guy has been fucking around with the headstone and made a decision that it's unsafe, hence why that sign was re-put back up. So I've done all that I can do, and all I'm waiting now is hopefully these contractors, they said they would come back in 48 hours. I've come down today, but they're not there, or they said they would call me anyway. But I've got a feeling they'll come down tomorrow, and hopefully they'll get it done before any rain arrives, because I think we'll get plenty of rain by the end of July. But what a sad story, isn't it? I can't help thinking that they've just been a bit obtuse, because I've made so many complaints to them that they've targeted my grandparents' headstone deliberately in order to try and get it pulled apart. I can't help thinking this. But once the work's done again, then I'll feel much more relaxed. As I say, the stone's not move of its own accord, or any storms, or any vandalism, or any mischievous children who clamber on top of it, which is a bloody chance in 1 million. It's just awful. So I think that's what they've done. Just wanted to cause me a headache. It would have been a big headache if the contractors I had employed had not been so kind and said, don't worry about it, you'll get it sorted, we'll do it. Because it doesn't comply with British standard 4 digits. I've never heard of any British standard 4 digits for a cemetery. ever. Look at them all. Look, I mean, it's... I'm glad I've taken so much footage of all this stuff, but anyone I've spoken to about it, they can't grasp the magnitude of what's happened because they haven't seen it visibly happening or had any experience of it themselves. That woman just stole my seat on the bench. Never mind, it's there for sharing. And I might just chat with her and see what she thinks about the whole situation. Another Celtic cross, absolutely ruined. I'm sure there's some sort of a woke attack on Christianity about all this. There's some pink yarrow. Some pink yarrow, so I wouldn't take it here, obviously. So quite a lot going on. Now I'm going to speak to this woman. Fucking weird woman, just bolted. I think she must have thought of some sort of crazy psychopath bastard. She never even spoke. As I said, it's a lovely day. I was just about to tell her and ask her opinion about what's happening in the grave, and she just bolted. Anyway, that's all the stuff I've got for you just now. But every section of this cemetery is in exactly the same position as a result of the vandalism by these people employed by the Scottish government. And remember, all this is because one child got killed in Glasgow. I mean, it's sad that the child got killed, but so there's people die every day of all sorts of things. Children get killed crossing the road and stuff. In fact, there's a very tragic thing I saw. The young boy on his bike who'd crossed the road because he saw his mother, and she witnessed his death. He saw his mum, and he rode straight out off the pavement onto the other side of the road and got hit with a bus which threw in front of a car. Got hit with two vehicles, dead. Well, he died later that day. So they didn't close every road in Derbyshire for an extended period as a result. You know? But they're prepared to smash up all the cemeteries across the whole of Scotland just because of that one event. If I had got wind of this prior to the work actually commencing, and just by chance I saw this back in December 24, I think I would have probably went for an injunction and not allowed them to do anything for the sake of all these people who are buried here, and allow the judiciary to make a decision if it was the right thing or the wrong thing to do. Because simply having all this graveyard in a state of disarray, and for what purpose, really? It's all over. I've shown you all the way up and round. Look at Mr. Kippens, died in January 1909, aged 82. And look what they've done to his stone. And the I've got a feeling that woman didn't see me sitting on that bench when I wandered with the camera around about. And when I started coming back, I think she got startled. I don't know what the story was with her. Ridiculous. Look, they've managed to break this one. I said before, if they'd done this at any location the world over, it'd been an absolute riot. An absolute riot coming into people's last resting places and totally desecrating the graves. It is, I'm not sure who to turn to, but it is pretty sick like. There's just there's no reason behind all this at all. I can't show you every headstone that they've damaged, but take it from me, there's absolutely dozens, if not hundreds. I mean, they've literally broke them as well. You see, they haven't just dismantled them; they broke them, and there's no comeback on that, is there? That's vandalism. That's worse than what any people. The object of this is to stop people clambering about on top of it. But that's just complete and utter destruction. Somebody else got a sign up. So guaranteed Mr. Clark of a farmer at Hollybush. I remember the farm. Yes I do. Unfortunately, one day they're going to come down, some of his family members, and discover that his headstone's been chopped in half. And this one here. They can't go around forever. But anyway, that's that. quite incredible. And I noticed that was in the car, and I had done a few things, a few phone calls and stuff, and I'd come down here to the graveyard again to check and see if these contractors had arrived in regards to the work that I presume I've loaded that already. If you want to know what I'm talking about. It's the 17th day of July, so we're past the mid part of the month now, and it's a nice breeze out from the northeast. It's a perfect day actually. I've been feeling rather swamped with so much to do. It's been a busy period, I'm afraid, and I was thinking about the what day would that be? Tuesday perhaps? What day is this, Andy? Friday. So it would have been Tuesday, yes, and I was up the Strathclyde, Glenartney area. I don't know if you can recall if you watched the video, but as I came off the mountain, I pulled up my binoculars from up top. I was looking for a designated track, and all I could see was a gate shining in the distance, and I thought that's my point that I'll be heading for. So after a little while, you can't see the gate because of the lower elevation. It's hidden. But I wandered down, and as I said in the video, my geography is good. I landed right at the gate. But what was the most extraordinary thing was, as I approached the gate, this figure was here. And I had to kind of look, not once, twice, but 3 times to say, what the heck? So as I climbed the fence, this woman started to take a rucksack from her shoulders, and she had those walking, these walking poles, and she put them in the ground, and then she also had a hat on. She greeted me and chatted to her. I said what she introduced herself from when she travelled over from Dusseldorf. Well, I said to her, what's your accent? And she says, well, I live in Dusseldorf. I've just come over to walk in Scotland. I've walked over England and stuff. But something didn't add up about it. The reason I say this is because there's absolutely no way that anyone would know that track's there. I'm not suggesting she was a figment of my imagination, or she was an apparition. We were in conversation. But what I found slightly odd was anyone walking from Callander would reach the top end of Glenartney, and a signpost would direct them down the road towards Comrie with a distance. And for that lady to have ended up where she was, she would have had to have turned in the wrong direction, headed out for part of Strathclyde, and then forked off down towards the farming area, the gamekeepers' houses and stuff like that. There's several houses that are separated at that part. I think it begins with an A. I'll put it up for you. But anyway, so it's an uncommon and route, and not only that, it's not a route that any stranger would be likely to take, because it's so unfamiliar to anybody. And particularly as you come down past those houses, you would have to have reached what I said in the video was a ford. And the chances are, well, she didn't know there was a bridge there either. she crossed the bridge. I said it was a ford, and she said it's a bridge. There's that bloody strange woman from yesterday, Andy. She's not got her dog with her today. A weird woman she is. So what I'm saying is that the point that I met this woman is absolutely in the middle of nowhere. Quite simply, just she's absolutely no right to have found that particular spot. And what was the most surprising thing, it was right at the very gate. As I got to the gate, I climbed over the gate and made my hellos. I gave her a wave first to reassure her, and I climbed over. I turned so she could see the rucksack on my back, to the side, just to, save any apprehension for individuals, So, just what I mean, I never asked her, how on earth did you find this part of the track? Because anyone walking, as I say, from Callander would automatically lead down the metal road down past the church. And we would look for a camping spot somewhere between the top of Glenartney and perhaps down towards Cultybragan. Or the old army camp outside Comrie, or even down to Comrie itself. But to find this person on that stretch of moorland on a track that to most people would doesn't actually go anywhere. So I need to check to see if there's I need to check to see on any other particular maps to see if there's an actual route that goes from that part all the way down to Comrie. I'm sure there must be, which would sort of take up the old an old track that would take in all the farm areas and stuff on the north side of the Rookham River. So I'll have to find out. Excuse me while I answer this call. Okay, so that's a bit of good news actually in all respects. I tell you, it's worth persevering. Even though my blood pressure starts to rise and I get really frustrated with Perth Council. Not the individual employees, they're only employed to do a job, but the whole Bertha organisation is, it's not very good. But as the chap's just outlined, well, first of all, I said to them, the big niggle, this video is following on to the one that I made on the separate videos regarding Crieff Cemetery, particularly my grandparents' and great-grandparents' headstone, but also in a general sense all the complete desecration of Crieff Cemetery. So let me just finish what I'm saying. The contractors I employed to do the work back in December done that job perfectly, but the council people decided to come back out and retest it, and did not notify me. And as that chap has just admitted that was wrong of them not to tell me and allow me to get a surprise just in the last few weeks. So I said that was one major niggle about the whole situation. I said the council said that the memorial masons that I employed are the ones who the council would appoint anyway, and they've been doing it for over 30 years, and they are a highly professional unit, so I had no question about using them. And as the chap says rightly so, it's just one one part of it. These contractors actually contacted the council and the person that I spoke to on a personal basis between Wednesday and today to say, what on earth are you shaking the stone to that degree for? That's not 25 kilos of pressure, but they've come back and said it was 25 kilos of pressure. Well, all I saw was this bloody great big giant of a guy fucking heaving and pushing my great-grandparents' headstone. But anyway, the bottom line is the work will be carried out to bring it up to the British standard number of 4-digit shite that they require. There won't be any additional cost to me, and the council will then not look to re-examine that headstone once the work's been completed. They'll take it on faith that it's done correctly, and there won't be any further inspections. So for the rest of my life I can, and my next life hopefully, I can relax that my ancestors' headstone in Plinth will not be smashed to pieces and separated like the rest of them. So I said to the chap, I says, you know, in a separate issue, just generally, being a Crieff person, I says, the Crieff Cemetery has been absolutely desecrated in the last 2 years. The whole aesthetics of the place, and particularly the sadness of all these stones that have been separated and broken, and plinths removed, headstones removed from plinths, etc. So he said that initially it was a guidance that came from Scottish Government after that boy got killed in Glasgow, but then it became mandatory 2 years ago, i.e. it became Scottish law, that every single graveyard, every single cemetery, including private graveyards and cemeteries, all have to undertake headstone inspection. It's now the law, and as a result of the law, they are now allowed to do what they do in order to make these headstones safe. So I then said to him, are we talking all the whole of Scotland? And he says, yes, every council. But well, I'm grateful he kind of slipped up, because he said that not every council operates in the same way as Perth and Kinross Council. Said West Lothian Council, for example, if they find a headstone unsafe, they will undertake the full cost of making the repairs without damaging the headstone. So I thought that was interesting, that Perth and Kinross, to save money, have fucked up people's last resting places. So he said that decision might be changed in September, and I said, well, will you call me if that happens? And he says, yes, I will. So I'm looking forward to September for that reason. And I said to him, if they do decide, the councillors do decide that they'll allocate more money for this project, can I just assume that they'll come back to Crieff Cemetery and make good all the mess that they've done, i.e. put all these stones back together? And he said that is a strong possibility if we get the funding. Well, I said, well, that'll be good, because at the moment it's horrendous. And he agreed in that respect. He said, yes, we understand it's a hot topic. Well, it doesn't seem to be a hot topic for enough people, because I've catalogued most of the damage that's been done in this place since December 24, and I think it's just horrendous. And anyway, I've pushed and pushed at this council mob, and I've got my result that I required. It's taken me a long time, but the work will be completed now. No extra cost to me. I was a few £100 for what I did do previously back in December, but it wasn't a problem for me at all. But the fact that it hadn't reached the council standards was a bit of a disappointment. And as the contractor said to me, leave it with us, we'll get that sorted. and he went straight to the council the next day, obviously, and complained to them. Sorry, my camera can't chat because of the fact that the memory bank was full, so I've deleted footage that I no longer require. What I'm saying is the contractors phoned the council next day and said to the people, the video that we've watched that the guy sent us shows, in our opinion, excessive force in order to apply 25 kilos of pressure to a headstone to see if it moves or not. They haven't explained why 25 kilos seems to be the standard weight to rock a stone. So it's been an interesting journey for me, but I'm pleased that I've got it sorted. I wish I could have done a lot more for all the rest of the poor souls that are now in the hands of the good Lord, but their bones and ashes are still below us. Look at it. So I will feel that if I get this call in September to say that the Perth Council have agreed to up the funding on this project. Remember, they've got 60 million gravestones to look at across the entire county. But if they say, well, let's go back to Crieff and repair all the bloody damage we've done. So in essence, what they're saying is this wouldn't have happened in the council area of West Lothian or other counties. It's not been specific what other counties who would then fund the whole cost. But if you're in West Lothian, then, well, top marks. You don't have your cemeteries and graveyards totally ruined. So I don't think I need to go on any further. I think you've got the point. I'm always ticking over my head about different stuff. But I was getting quite frustrated with them. I left a message on the chap's answer phone today. Says, I missed your call on Wednesday. Will you get back to me, please? As soon as. So he did. I appreciated that on a Friday afternoon, rather than hanging around my bloody head over the whole weekend. I can't get over it. What's happened in this place? Like this, in my opinion, was never part of the mandate from the Scottish government. I don't think it was. I think they wanted to make sure that there was no hazards in cemeteries, but I don't think they expected individual councils to go around smashing up people's resting places. I did say to the chap actually, I says, if this happened in any other country in the world, it would be a bloody riot. He says, well, unfortunately, it's the law. So you wonder how many laws have passed through that bloody horror that we don't know about. You know? He says it was advertised in the planning permission and the Dundee Courier and other local newspapers, but unless you're looking at planning as part of your daily life, you would miss that. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. Of course, I was yapping about that Glen Artley stuff. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. I said to him, I hauled your sign out of the ground advising it was unsafe. He says, that's okay, I understand why you would do that, but you don't need to put it back, but leave it at the bench that you said it was sitting at, and we'll collect it. So I'll go down and I'll put it next to the bench so it's clearly visible for the guys when they come back. But I'm going to pop up to the co-op and get myself some tobacco. I haven't got any with me. I'm getting a bit fed up with the smoking, to be honest. I think it's the hot weather. But I'll say, when it comes to sundown, there's nothing better than standing on your back doorstep, staring into space with a a cigarette in your mouth. Well, between the fingers and heading for the mouth. Yeah, it's perfect. Right, Andrew, thank you from this graveyard, and well done you for getting all that bloody sorted. The fight was on, and you've won it. Well done you.